The Galactic Empire's reconnaissance vessel Sightseer drifted silently in the shadow of an asteroid, cloaked in the darkness of space. Its mission was simple: scout and catalog any civilizations ripe for conquest. This sector of the galaxy had been uneventful until they approached a small, unassuming blue planet named Earth. Commander VK, a seasoned veteran of the Empire, peered skeptically at the rotating hologram of Earth displayed before him. This primitive rock? It's a Class C civilization. Are we truly wasting our time here? He muttered, his voice a low growl. His second-in-command, Lieutenant Grill, a thin, quick-minded officer, tapped away at her console, bringing up more data. Sir, their technological signatures are weak, but there's unusual activity in their orbital space. It might warrant a closer look, she suggested, highlighting several small objects in orbit that seemed out of place for a civilization of such supposed simplicity. VKK snorted dismissively but nodded. Fine. Initiate a closer scan. Let's see what these primitives are hiding. As the Sightseer scanners reached out toward Earth, a series of rapid beeps suddenly echoed through the bridge. Grill's eyes widened as she read the incoming data. Sir, multiple objects approaching at high velocity. Configuration unknown, nothing we've seen before. Put them on the main screen, VK carked. His interest peaked. The view shifted to the forward sensors, revealing a dozen sleek metallic objects shaped curiously like the mythical beasts of VK's homeworld dogs. These ships, if they could be called that, glinted menacingly in the sunlight as they rocketed toward the Sightseer. Before VKK could formulate a response, a transmission cut through the static. This is General Barker of the United Earth K-9 Corps. We advise you to withdraw immediately. You are violating the sovereign airspace of Earth. A laugh escaped VK's lips, deep and mocking. AK-9 Corps, what folly is this? Arm the plasma cannons. Let's teach these primitives a lesson. The ship lurched violently, throwing crew members off balance as alarms blared. The dog-shaped ships had not only approached but had launched an aggressive electromagnetic pulse EMP attack, crippling the Sightseer's main systems in a blink. Grill struggled to regain control of her console. Sir, main engine functions are offline and communications are jammed. We are defenseless. VK stood stunned as the realization dawned on him that these primitives had mastered a form of warfare his own empire had underestimated. Prepare for boarding, he commanded grimly, knowing that the next few moments would decide their fate. Outside, the K-9 Corps ships maneuvered with precision, encircling the crippled Empire vessel and ready to unleash their next move. General Barker, stationed aboard the Earth Command ship Defender, monitored the situation closely. The holographic screens displayed the disabled Galactic Empire ship, now helplessly adrift. He turned to his side, where Captain Rex, his top K-9 officer, and a genetically enhanced German Shepherd, sat. Rex's helmet was equipped with a neural link interface, glowing subtly as it translated his thoughts and commands. Rex, ready the teams, Barker ordered, his voice calm but authoritative. Rex nodded, his visor pulsing as he relayed orders to the boarding teams. Within moments, squads of elite K-9 soldiers equipped with advanced exosuits and energy weapons assembled in the launch bay, prepared to board the Sightseer. The airlock opened, and the K-9 soldiers propelled themselves toward the Sightseer as docking port. VK watched from the bridge, his expression grim. Hold the line. We are not to be taken by these primitives, he growled. But as the K-9 soldiers breached the airlock and surged into the ship, it became clear that the Galactic Empire had underestimated their adversaries. The Sightseer's crew fought valiantly, but they were overwhelmed by the K-9 Corps' superior tactics and technology. Minutes later, General Barker and Captain Rex stood on the bridge of the Sightseer, surrounded by subdued Empire officers. VK glared defiantly at Barker. You may have taken this ship, but the Empire will not forget, he snarled. Barker met his gaze evenly. We'll be waiting. In the meantime, I suggest you get used to life as a prisoner of Earth. Captain Rex's visor pulsed as he scanned the bridge, then turned to Barker with a decisive nod. Teams, secure the ship. The Galactic Empire's first encounter with Earth had ended in defeat, but the battle was only the beginning. The K-9 Corps had proven humanity's resolve, and the Sightseer's capture would send ripples throughout the galaxy. Rex barked affirmatively, a low resonant sound that was simultaneously broadcast as a command to the K-9 units. The dogs, each paired with a human handler, were suited up in specialized combat gear designed for space engagements. They assembled in the docking bay, their suits sleek and equipped with life support and mobility jets. Lieutenant Collins approached Barker, her eyes flicking between him and the monitors. Sir, all teams are prepped. We have the element of surprise on our side. Initiate the boarding sequence. Target their bridge and engineering sections. I want control of that ship, Barker commanded, watching as the boarding pods were loaded. Each pod was small, agile, and designed for rapid entry. As the pods shot toward the sightseer, Barker continued, make sure to secure prisoners. If possible, we need to understand their motives for scouting Earth. The pods made contact with the Empire ship, attaching firmly to the hull before cutting through the metal with thermal lasers. Once breached, the doors opened, and the Earth's canine core poured into the ship. The dogs, agile and fierce, took the lead, their enhanced senses allowing them to navigate the smoky corridors swiftly. Chaos erupted within the sightseer as the Empire soldiers scrambled to mount a defense. However, they were ill-prepared for the ferocity and coordination of the attackers. The dogs, trained for combat, incapacitated foes with non-lethal force, their handlers following with stun rifles. Sergeant Malloy's status. Barker's voice rang clear through the comms. Bridges in sight. General, encountering resistance, but we're pushing through, replied Sergeant Malloy, a seasoned soldier who maneuvered through the corridors with his partner, a robust Belgian Malinois named Chief. Within minutes, they breached the bridge. The Empire's crew, including Commander VKK, were taken by surprise. VKK's imposing figure, tense with frustration, faced Sergeant Malloy and Chief. Surrender, or we disable your life support, Malloy warned, his rifle aimed at VK, while Chief growled a low and menacing sound. VKK, seeing the determination and the strange, fearsome creatures that accompanied these humans, knew he had no choice. We yield, he declared, deactivating his weapon and signaling his crew to stand down. With the Galactic Empire's reconnaissance ship Sightseer now under Earth control, General Barker directed the next phase of operations as his team secured key areas. Barker communicated the next steps through his wrist communicator. Secure all sensitive information. We need to know what they planned for Earth, and if there are more coming, he ordered. Sergeant Malloy, alongside Chief, his Belgian Malo, navigated towards the ship's data core. The corridors were quiet, the only sounds being the soft hum of the ship's still functional systems and the distant echoes of their team securing the area. Chief's enhanced senses were alert to any hidden threats, his body tense and ready as they reached the data core. Malloy interfaced his portable device with the ship system, attempting to breach their security. Now, General, he reported, proceed with caution, Malloy. We don't know what kind of traps they might have set. Barr responded, watching the progress from the defender. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Collins supervised the handling of prisoners, ensuring that the Empire's crew members were treated fairly but kept under strict watch. She was particularly mindful of Commander VK, who, despite his initial bluster, seemed to be taking mental notes of his surroundings and their tactics. Back at the data core, Malloy's device beeped a successful breach. I'm in, downloading data, he said, relief in his voice. However, before he could celebrate, an alarm blared. We've triggered a security protocol, he alerted. Within seconds, automated defense systems activated throughout the Sightseer. We need support at the data core, Malloy shouted over the comm, ducking as a laser turret deployed from the ceiling. General Barker quickly coordinated a response. Rex, take Alpha Team to Malloy's position. Disable those defenses, he commanded. Rex barked, relaying orders to his team, a group of specially trained canines and their handlers. As Alpha Team rushed to assist, they encountered minimal resistance. Most of the crew had already been subdued. The dogs, agile and quick, dodged the sporadic turret fire effectively. Using compact EMP grenades, they disabled the turrets, allowing Malloy to continue securing the data. With the immediate threat neutralized, Barker focused on the broader implications. Analyze the data. As soon as you have it, we need to know if this is an isolated incident or the precursor to an invasion, he told Malloy. After a tense hour, the download went complete and Malloy began to sift through the trove of information. General, it looks like Earth was not their primary target, but a reconnaissance mission to assess our defenses, he reported. This means they underestimated us, but they will be back, and in greater numbers. Barker concluded, his mind racing with the potential threat. Prepare all hands for debrief. We need to strategize our next move and alert the United Earth Command. With the Sightseer now firm under Earth control, General Barker initiated the next phase of their strategic response. The bridge of the Defender buzzed with activity as officers coordinated the return of boarding parties and the consolidation of control over the captured ship. Secure the prisoners in the holding area and keep a close watch. I want constant surveillance, Barker ordered, his gaze fixed on the live feeds from various sections of the Sightseer. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Collins oversaw the transfer of the Galactic Empire prison rears. Her eyes darted between the monitors and the prisoners, ensuring that no further incidents occurred. She was particularly attentive to Commander VKK, who, despite his cooperative facade, seemed to simmer with a quiet rage and embarrassment over his defeat back on Earth. News of the skirmish and the surprising effectiveness of the Can-9 Corps had reached global media. Reports circulated about the dogs who defended Earth, stirring both pride and curiosity among the populace. As Barker Briefed with his staff, Malloy handed him a tablet containing the decrypted data from the sightseer. It seems they didn't expect much resistance, sir. Their primary focus has been on more militarized systems. Earth was categorized as a low threat that may work to our advantage, Barker mused. They'll underestimate us, but we need to prepare for a stronger response. Set up a meeting with the United Earth Defense Council. We need to brief them immediately and discuss our next steps. The meeting with the council was swift and decisive. Barker presented the findings, emphasizing the need for heightened security measures and the expansion of the K-9 Corps' training program. The council, impressed and alarmed by the events, agreed to increase funding and resources for defense as preparations began for potential future conflicts. Barker organized a series of tactical simulations for the K-9 Corps, incorporating scenarios that involved more complex and aggressive attacks. These exercises were designed not only to test the limits of the K-9 human teams, but also to integrate more advanced technology harvested from the sightseer on the training grounds. Captain Rex and his handler, Sergeant Malloy, demonstrated new tactics involving stealth and rapid incapacitation techniques, which were now enhanced by the alien technology. The other teams watched intently, learning and adapting to the evolving combat landscape. General Barker, observing the training, felt a twinge of pride. The K-9 Corps was no longer just a novel unit. It had become a pivotal element of Earth's defense strategy. He knew the galaxy was watching and possibly re-evaluating their perceptions of Earth. The aftermath of the sightseer's capture had not only changed the tactical dynamics, but it also shifted the political landscape. Earth was no longer seen as an isolated and technologically inferior planet, but as a rising power capable of defending itself against a galactic empire. The return to Earth was met with unprecedented fanfare. Crowds gathered at spaceports cheering as the ships carrying the heroes of the K-9 Corps touched down. General Barker, alongside Captain Rex and the rest of his team, stepped out to a sea of applause and flashing cameras. The victory over the Galactic Empire's reconnaissance vessel had sparked a newfound unity and pride across the planet. In the capital, a ceremony was organized to honor the K-9 Corps. As Barker approached the podium, he scanned the crowd, seeing faces filled with hope and excitement. The general cleared his throat, preparing to address the world. Today we stand united, not just as a planet, but as a formidable force in the galaxy. Barker began, his voice strong and clear. The bravery and skill of our K-9 Corps have shown that we are capable of defending our home against any threat. The crowd erupted in cheers, many of whom were waving miniature flags or holding up signs featuring images of the K-9 hero. Barker paused, allowing the applause to subside before continuing. But let us not rest on our laurels, he cautioned, his expression turning serious. The data recovered from the site here has provided us with crucial insights into the Empire's intentions and capabilities. We must use this knowledge to prepare for the challenges ahead. As the celebrations continued, the mood at the Strategic Command Center was more somber. Barker and his top advisors pored over the encrypted files, revealing not just surveillance data, but a network of potential threats that stretched across the galaxy. We've intercepted communications indicating that the Empire is taking our victory as a serious affront, reported Lieutenant Collins, displaying intercepted messages on the screen. They're rallying their forces, possibly for a retaliatory strike. Barker nodded, his mind racing with potential strategies. Increase surveillance and strengthen our orbital defenses, he ordered. I want every available ship and satellite on high alert. Meanwhile, at the K-9 Corps' training facility, preparations were underway to integrate more advanced combat techniques and technologies. The dogs, now equipped with enhanced armor and communication devices derived from the alien tech, trained intensely under the supervision of their handlers. During one such training session, an unexpected alert sounded through the facility. The trainers and their K-9 partners were rushed to the command center, where a new message was being broadcast across all channels. This is High Commander Trill of the Galactic Empire, boomed the voice, its tone cold and menacing. Your little stunt has not gone unnoticed. Consider this a warning. Withdraw your forces and cease your advancements or face annihilation. Barker listened, his expression unreadable. Turning to his officers, he spoke with a calm that belied the gravity of the situation. Prepare for a meeting with the United Earth Defense Council. It's time to discuss our entry into this galactic conflict. As a full participant, the meeting was tense, with representatives from various nations expressing their concerns and strategies. Barker proposed a coalition, suggesting that Earth lead a united front against the Galactic Empire, arguing that their best chance of survival lay in solidarity and mutual defense. As the council debated, Barker received a private communication from an unknown source. Opening the message, he found an offer of alliance from another system that had long suffered under the Empire's rule. The message was clear: together we can bring an end to their tyranny in the wake of the Galactic Empire's thinly veiled threat. General Barker recognized the urgency of building a broader coalition to counter the impending onslaught. The message from an oppressed system eager for an alliance was a beacon of opportunity in the looming shadow of war, set a course for the Zeltron system. Barker instructed his navigation officer aboard the Defender. The Zeltrons, known for their advanced aquatic technologies and strategic position near key galactic trade routes, could be invaluable allies. Upon arrival, the planet Zeltron greeted them with cautious optimism. The water-covered world shimmered under its twin suns, and its inhabitants, amphibious and intelligent, had long resented the Empire's heavy-handed control. General Barker and his delegation, including Captain Rex, disembarked in the planetary capital, a sprawling city built both above and below the water's surface. The Zeltrons had arranged for a diplomatic meeting in their Grand Council chamber, a magnificent structure with walls of flowing water and seats that accommodated both terrestrial and aquatic attendees. Greetings, General Barker, said Zeland's Prime Minister, a tall figure with glistening blue skin and a gentle voice. We are intrigued by your victory against the Galactic Empire and are eager to hear your proposals. Barker nodded, stepping forward. Thank you, Prime Minister. Earth seeks friends among the stars. Together we can protect our freedoms against the Empire's tyranny. Your strategic location and technological prowess would make you invaluable allies in this endeavor. The discussions that followed were intense and productive. Barker detailed the capabilities of the K9 Corp and shared intelligence about the Empire's military structures and weaknesses. In exchange, the Zeltrons offered insights into underwater combat technology that could be adapted for space warfare, offering new tactics and hardware designs. As the meeting drew to a close, the Zeltrons agreed to join Earth's coalition. They signed a treaty of alliance pledging mutual defense and the sharing of technology and intelligence. The event was marked by a ceremonial exchange of gifts. Earth presented a model of a K9 core ship, while the Zeltrons offered a scale model of their most advanced submarine. With a new ally secured, Barker's next step was to reach out to other potential partners. Similar diplomatic missions were dispatched to various systems, each tailored to address the specific concerns and needs of the potential allies. Captain Rex, with his imposing presence and heroic reputation, often accompanied these missions, serving as a living symbol of Earth's resilience and strength. Back on Earth, preparations intensified. The coalition's combined fleets began joint training exercises integrating Zonian aquatic maneuvers with Earth's aerial and space tactics. These exercises were not only about building a cohesive fighting force, but also about fostering trust and camaraderie among diverse species and cultures. As the coalition grew, so did its influence. News of the alliance spread, inspiring other oppressed systems to consider standing up against the Empire. Barker knew that each new ally strengthened their position, but also that it provoked the Empire further in the depths of space. A massive fleet assembled, combining the unique ships and technologies of each coalition member. General Barker, aboard the Defender, reviewed the fleet's readiness reports. His heart swelled with pride at the sight of such unity, but he remained acutely aware of the challenges ahead. The coalition was strong, but the Empire was vast and powerful. Barker knew that the coming battle would test them all, not just their military prowess, but their commitment to the cause of freedom. As the fleet set its course toward the contested sectors, Barker prepared himself for the trials to come, confident that together they could face any adversary. As the Galactic Coalition grew in numbers and strength, Earth and its allies continued to refine their strategies and enhance their combat capabilities. General Barker, overseeing the preparations, knew that the imminent conflict with the Galactic Empire would not only be a test of military might, but also of their ability to work together under pressure. At the Coalition's primary base, located on a strategically significant moon near the edge of the Zeltron system, engineers and technicians from various worlds collaborated to integrate their technologies. Earth's engineers worked alongside their Zeltron counterparts to adapt the aquatic combat technology for use in space, resulting in hybrid vehicles capable of both high-speed maneuvers in space and defensive operations in liquid environments. Meanwhile, training exercises were conducted to ensure that all coalition forces could operate these new systems effectively. Captain Rex and his K9 Corps participated in these drills, showcasing their unique skills and inspiring confidence among the coalition troops. Their ability to perform complex tasks under duress made them integral to the training programs, particularly in search and rescue simulations and anti-B-boarding defenses. During one such exercise, a simulated attack on the coalition base was staged to test the response times and strategic acumen of the combined forces. The scenario involved multiple waves of drone attacks mimicking the expected strategies of the Empire's forces. The K9 Corps demonstrated exceptional prowess working with their handlers to quickly neutralize threats and secure critical areas of the base. General Barker, observing the exercise from the command center, noted the effectiveness of the joint forces. We are stronger together, he commented to his staff. Our diversity is our strength, and our unity is our shield. However, not all was proceeding smoothly. Intelligence reports indicated that the Galactic Empire was not sitting idly by. They had begun fortifying their positions and were likely gathering intelligence on the coalition's movements and Strategies in response: Barker ordered increased counterintelligence operations and stressed the importance of cybersecurity within the coalition's networks. In the midst of these preparations, an unexpected challenge arose. A coalition supply convoy was ambushed by a rogue faction that opposed the alliance with Earth. The attack resulted in critical losses of supplies and raised questions about internal security and loyalty among the coalition members. General Barker convened an emergency meeting with the coalition leaders to address the incident. This attack is a reminder that our enemy is not just the Empire but also division within our own ranks. Barker stated solemnly, "We must stand united or we will fall separately." The meeting resulted in the establishment of a new security protocol and a coalition-wide loyalty affirmation. Each member state agreed to enhance security measures and mutual support in policing their sectors for similar threats. As the days progressed, the coalition's fleet, now fully assembled, conducted large-scale maneuvers near the Zoltron system, displaying an impressive show of force. The Can-9 Corps aboard specialized units were at the forefront, ready to deploy at a moment's notice. General Barker, reviewing the final preparations, felt a mix of anticipation and resolve. The coalition was ready as they could ever be. The Empire would soon learn that Earth and its allies were not to be underestimated. With the fleets positioned and strategies laid out, Barker gave the order to move towards the contested sectors where the Empire's forces were gathering. This is it, he announced to his commanders. Platoons showed them what were made of the coalition fleet. A tapestry of ships from dozens of worlds approached the Orion Nebula, where intelligence suggested the Empire was massing its forces. The nebula's swirling gases and complex electromagnetic fields provided both cover and challenge, setting the stage for a dramatic confrontation. As the fleet neared the nebula, General Barker's flagship, the Defender, took the lead. Barker, standing firm on the command deck, surveyed the formation of allied ships, each one bristling with a mix of Earth and alien technology. All ships maintained formation and stay alert, he commanded, his voice steady over the comm system. Captain Rex, equipped with a specialized suit that allowed him to interface directly with the ship systems, relayed tactical data to the Can-9 Corps units aboard various ships. His presence not only boosted morale but also ensured that the unique capabilities of his corps were integrated seamlessly into the fleet's operations. The first sign of the Empire's fleet was a barrage of long-range missiles streaking through the nebulous clouds toward the coalition ships. Incoming, activate countermeasures, Barker ordered. Instantly, the coalition ships deployed a variety of defensive systems. Energy shields powered up and point defense lasers fired in rapid succession, intercepting the missiles. As the battle intensified, the coalition strategy became clear. Barker had ordered his ships to use the nebulous complex terrain to their advantage, breaking the fleet into smaller, agile squads that could maneuver through the gas clouds and strike at the Empire's larger, less maneuverable ships. One of these squads, led by Captain Rex's unit, executed a daring flank attack. Rex, piloting his own craft, darted through the nebula's densest regions where sensors were clouded. His ship emerged alongside an Empire cruiser, and with precise coordination his team disabled the cruiser's engines and weapon systems, leaving it adrift. Meanwhile, on the Death Ender, Barker monitored the progress of the battle, directing reinforcements to contested areas. The Zeltron submarines, adapted for space combat, proved invaluable. They slipped through enemy lines beneath their sensor range, unleashing torpedoes that disrupted the Empire's formations. As the battle raged, an urgent message reached Barker. An Empire flagship had entered the fray, deploying advanced fighters that threatened to overwhelm the coalition's left flank. Recognizing the critical moment, Barker redirected his reserves, including several Can-9 Corps units, to reinforce the position. The tide turned when Captain Rex and his team executed another audacious move. They boarded the Empire flagship, fighting their way to the bridge. Rex's partner, a fiercely intelligent border collie named Luna, hacked into the ship's navigation system, causing confusion and disarray among the Empire's forces. With the flagship captured and their lines in disarray, the morale of the Empire's troops faltered. Barker seized the opportunity, ordering a full-scale assault across the nebula. Coalition forces converged on the remaining Empire ships, pressing their advantage. After hours of intense combat, the dust settled over the Orion Nebula. The coalition had emerged victorious, with the Empire's forces retreating in disarray. Barker's strategy, combining the diverse strengths of his allies, had paid off. The battle was a decisive blow to the Empire, significantly weakening their presence in the sector and boosting the morale and unity of the coalition. As the fleet regrouped, General Barker addressed his commanders and allies. Today, we've shown the galaxy that unity and cooperation can defeat tyranny. This victory is not just ours, but for all who believe in freedom and justice. The coalition's success at the Battle of the Nebula would go down in history as a turning point in the galactic struggle against the Empire, a testament to the courage and innovation of Earth and its allies. With renewed resolve and strengthened bonds, they prepared for the challenges ahead, knowing that the path to peace was still long and fraught with danger.